Hi, my name is Glenn Robertson and I am with the legendary Maude Damons. Maude Damons is a singer that left Cape Town 54 years ago. She's back in South Africa. She's been performing at Kaleidoscope Cafe for the past 2 weeks to an amazing, appreciative crowd. Maude, I'm going to just read something that I managed to get off the internet about you, and you can say whether it is true or not. Okay, it says, legendary impresario Petro brought star comedian Alfred Marx to South Africa in 1962 for a series of concerts. The supporting cast included acts such as the well-known composer, bandleader, pianist Colin Campbell, and female soloist Maude Damons. We were pleasantly surprised to learn that Maude, who was born in District 6, was allowed to share the stage with an all-white cast for an all-white audience in 1962. Viva Petro, viva! Colin was the driving force behind this exceptional woman's singing career and accompanied Maude Damons on her maiden recording for True Tone's Continental label in 1962. Now I'm quoting, "The magic of Maude is the name of the album." Maude fell in love with the white South African musician Stanley Glasser and was forced to leave the country due to immorality charges issued by the Apartheid regime. The story is well documented in Hilda Roos's doctoral thesis called Opera Production in the Western Cape, Strategies in Search of Indigenization. And it's on page 96 and 97. She completed this at the University of Stellenbosch. And you can go and read a little bit more about Maude Damons, where she comes from, where she started. But I'd like to go back to that introduction, Maude. I just found out today, and we've known each other for at least 12 years. I just found out today that Mike Campbell's father, Colin Campbell, was your mentor. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think it was 1961. Yeah, I think it was. When I started singing at the Catacombs off Bree Street.
Yeah.
And I was singing there, and Colin came in and was standing at the edge of the stage, and I was singing. And he came and spoke to me. And from there it all snowballed. I did all the jingles with the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, and the jazz concerts with the Colin Campbell Big Band.
Wow.
And we made this album. I didn't even know we made this album.
Wow.
Because, I had to leave unceremoniously.
That's right, yeah.
And he brought me the album to England when he visited.
Yes.
And came to see me. And brought me the album. And that's how I discovered I had this album. I had never had a copy.
So Maude, it seems to me like you were a forerunner in a lot of areas, and especially in the area of breaking out, because back in the old apartheid regime, whites, blacks and coloureds were kept separate, obviously.
That's right.
But you mentioned that you performed with Colin's band.
All white.
All white.
Yes.
And you mentioned you played at Catacombs. You played at a place called Laxon's.
That's right.
In the foreshore.
Yes.
And what was it like as a non-white person singing in an all-white venue? How did people receive you?
People were very receptive. Standing on the stage or wherever I was singing, I didn't get the impression that I was standing there as a coloured lady.
Yes.
Or as a coloured girl.
Right.
They just received me, and I think they enjoyed what I was doing.
Of course they did. Yeah.
I was singing and even at the Camps Bay Hotel where there used to be dancing.
Yes.
And I was the band singer.
And everybody else in the venue. The band, the big band were white.
Everybody.
The people who attended the venue.
White.
And you were
Coloured.
the coloured singer,
Yes.
the big band singer.
That's right.
And they received and accepted you.
Yeah.
I find that so fascinating. Now, you mentioned that the only problem came was when you had to eat with the band.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
You know, you have a break in between, and then you had a dinner break.
Right.
And being a person of colour, I was not allowed to go and sit with the white musicians.
Right.
I had to be separate.
So I want this especially for Mike Campbell and for Amy Campbell, who are also jazz musicians. Mike was the head of at UCT. Amy is a singer. I'd love Amy to meet you.
I met her.
But just so that you understand that Colin Campbell was quite a force to be reckoned with, because at one stage he said when you were told that you couldn't sit with the band, what did he do?
At Maxim's. We were
At Maxim's.
Yeah, on the foreshore.
Yes.
And when the break came and he said, well, and I went with them, naturally.
Yes.
Because I was so silly, I suppose. But I went with them to sit, and they refused. He said I couldn't sit there. And because everywhere I went with the band, we were always together.
Correct.
And this was the dinner break, and they laid the table with all the napkins and cutlery.
Yes.
And they said, no, I couldn't sit with the musicians. Then Colin said, I'm sorry, if she can't sit with us, then we're not sitting there.
Go, Colin Campbell, go.
So I sat there.
Yes, absolutely.
They let me sit.
And isn't it absolutely, I mean, how old? You could have been what, 18, 19?
I was before, I wasn't even, I think I was 20,
Yes.
21, something like that.
And
Not even
we
21,
just saw on the album, we just saw the most beautiful picture of a 20-year-old Maude Damons,
Yeah.
which you didn't even know was on the internet.
True.
And another thing that we've also just discovered, which you didn't even know about, is Mr. Baatjes. Because Stanley Glasser was involved with the production, and Hugh Masekela, Dudu Pukwana, Chris McGregor, Danny Josephs, they were all involved in this production called Mr. Baatjes.
Yes, yes.
And we just listened to it now on the internet, and we're going to buy a copy of it off the internet, God willing. But you didn't even know that they had recorded, but your name is there, Maude Damons.
I didn't even remember that I had done it until you. And I went back to my digs where I was staying, and I thought, Mr. Baatjes. And then I remembered reversing.
Yes.
With Spike.
Yes.
Glasser.
Yes.
And I remembered it then. And I remember him saying to me, don't sound American.
Yes, they wanted you to have a Cape Town flavour. Yeah.
Well, you know, we all sing.
Correct.
Right? We say American A.
Yeah, can't or can't.
At last.
At last, yeah.
We still do it.
Yeah.
And I did it even then.
Yes.
And he said,
Wasn't happy about it.
No, I mustn't do that.
Yeah.
I must sing like the way
Say
I speak.
can't, then can't,
Exactly.
yeah. But that, I just find that so fascinating. So, then you fell in love with Stanley Glasser.
Well, I don't know how that happened, Glenn. I mean, we must have been, I can picture now him being there when we were rehearsing, and he must have we used to go to the Nas in...
What was it? There was the Nas in Salt River?
Yes, it was a cafe, restaurant, jazz venue.
Okay.
And I sang there with all the old guys.
With Kenny Jeter?
I don't remember Kenny being there.
Oh.
But there were a lot of musicians in those days.
Right.
And we sang there. I forget the names, but I have them at home. And I remember us going there. It was all white coloured, which we were...
So there was
we
a
were
mix.
supposed to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But we were there. We broke the law.
Well, jazz is known, jazz is, as far as I know, I remember when I was growing up, I would go to UCT, and that was also old South Africa, because I'm 58 years old.
That's right.
But in the old South Africa, Pacific Express would play up at yellow level at UCT, And there were blacks, whites, coloureds, Indians, everybody mixed together. Jazz had the ability to bring people together. Music has the ability, like sport, to bring people
Show
together.
business, we do not see colour.
Absolutely.
You know, so we used to go to all these venues, and I don't know when it happened between me and
Mike, and Stanley.
I have Spike.
Spike. Oh, was that his nickname?
Spike Glasser.
Okay, Spike Glasser.
I don't know when it happened between us, but hey, it just happened. I think he asked me. I don't know. I really do not know how, but it happened.
Yes.
It just happened. I was young and foolish. And it happened. And you know, Mommy loved him. She loved him.
Right.
I met him and she thought he was a great guy.
Yeah.
And we just got together.
Right.
And the next minute, and I was singing at the, what's it? Camps Bay Hotel.
Yes.
I was singing Camps Bay Hotel. You fetched me to take me home. I was living in District 6.
Yes.
And we didn't go home. We went for a drive. And we went up to UCT.
I like what this article says. Let me just read this to you. It says, in September 1962, Eon Group also presented a new ballet, The Square, composed for Eon by the South African composer Stanley Glasser.
I didn't even know that.
Choreographed by David Poole, the story was a depiction of gang life in District 6. So that was a forerunner to Carnival à la District 6, which Tully Peterson did later on. But it says the story was a depiction of gang life in District 6, and the principal role was again danced by Johar Mosaval. Mr. Manker quite rightly claimed another first for the Eon Group, as this was the first complete full-length indigenous ballet composed by a local composer for a local ballet group in South Africa. It is during this time that the composer, Stanley Glasser, ran into trouble with the Apartheid legislation in an event which caused him to flee South Africa. Listen to this. It says Glasser had an affair with an Eon singer, Maude Damons, who sang a vocal part in the orchestral part of The Square. Having been caught in flagrant, I don't know what that means,
Flagrante? What?
by the police officer near Rhodes Memorial in Cape Town, some months after the production, the couple was allegedly arrested on contravening the Immorality Act of 1950. After being released on bail, Glasser and Damons allegedly, now that's not allegedly.
There's no such thing as allegedly.
You did.
We went there.
Yeah.
We did. We just decided to leave.
Right.
Because neither one of us, we decided, no way are we going to go to jail.
No ways.
For
something
that
like that, yeah.
Okay, Glenn, we broke the law of the land, but we were in love.
But the law of the land was sick at the time. I mean, let's be...
Ludicrous.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why, even today, you know, when we, you know, black lives matter, white lives matter, colored lives, all lives matter.
Exactly.
And if somebody falls in love across the color bar, my goodness, how can we justify it? I mean, I've heard of people even justifying it through biblical scripture, which is absolute hogwash.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just...
I'm not...
They say...
I'm saying people try to justify that, you know, for a colored woman and a white man, and it's nonsense.
But it was the law of the land.
I hear you.
I admit, we broke it.
Yes.
We were not supposed to.
Yes.
But then I never did as I was told. Never.
Yeah.
I went where I wasn't supposed to go. I did what I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
Hence, I got caught.
Yes.
And we were not caught in flagrante, as they say.
Yes.
We were sitting in a car.
Okay.
And a conversation.
But obviously, they would paint the picture
as in flagrante.
Because you were colored and he was white.
Exactly.
And it was probably white cops at the
It
time.
was not a white cop.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, I met the mother of this cop and I wasn't particularly very happy.
Wow.
And she, very proudly, told me that it was her son.
Oh my heck. So was the colored guy?
It was a coloured cop.
Ah.
You were sitting in the car having a nice conversation and here comes this George. En nou, wat maak julle? Huh?
Oh my goodness.
This told you, man.
Yeah, in your face, yeah.
And off we went to Weinberg.
Police station.
Yeah.
Well, it carries on and it says, listen to this. After being released on bail, Glasser and Damons allegedly crossed the border to, it says Botswana, but you said it's Bechuana
It was
land,
Bechuanaland in those days.
and fled to the United Kingdom via Tanzania. According to, and that's the one picture that is on the internet of you
Yes.
and Stanley in Tanzania.
Yeah.
According to, I know Peter Baatjes, he was my drama teacher.
Oh, wow.
According to Peter Baatjes, an young ballet dancer who took part in the square, the affair was an open secret. Everybody in the group knew about it, but nobody discussed it
That's
openly.
right, that's right.
In London, Glasser settled as a lecturer in music, and the incident is important because it illustrates on a level, other than funding or administration, how the inevitable interracial personal relationships resulting from his own performances were conducted in adherence to apartheid legislative demands and not challenged. Where apartheid norms were flouted, the consequences were dire.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I hear you, yes, it was the law of the land, but the law of the land is sometimes not right, you know, and so that was 54 years ago.
But Tanzania, there
Yes.
was another episode there.
Oh, was there?
Oh, yes.
What happened there?
Well, we went from where we Bechuanaland, we decided they were after us.
So they were actually following?
You know, Boss.
Yes!
Boss.
I ran from Voss back in 1976 in Durban. Yeah.
Well, Boss, they were there, hiding behind bushes, you know, things, taking pictures. And Spike said, I think we better get out of here. So we chartered, well, his dad chartered a plane,
Right.
a 2-little-seater,
Right.
and we got on this. That was a big episode, not just, and we flew
Serious?
over, was it Rhodesia?
Yes, yes, yes.
And the
Now
plane,
Zim.
and the
Yeah.
plane developed engine trouble.
Oh.
So now we had to land,
In Zim.
well, no,
Well,
so-
Rhodesia, which was then Ian Smith.
exactly.
Not the trumpeter Ian Smith. Ian Smith, the Prime Minister.
Very friendly with you know who over there.
Of course.
Well, we landed there and the plane had to be fixed. But now they realized I was there.
Yes.
They gave me 2 hours. 2 hours to get out. Because I was a prohibited immigrant.
But he was fine.
Well, yeah, well, he was white.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And 2 hours, they gave me this form. Oh, you know, I kept it for years.
Wow.
Because I was prohibited immigrant. I was get out.
Amazing.
So I was not welcome.
Wow.
So anyway, I took in my stride. I was young. It was an adventure.
Yes.
And the plane got fixed and off we went.
Back in the plane.
Back in the plane. We went off to Dar Es Salaam.
Okay.
But we didn't go to Dar es Salaam. We went around the back route. Because, Glenn, you have to remember, I had no papers.
Nothing. You just, you left with the clothes on your body and...
With a little suitcase.
Wow.
And we drove over the border to Botswana.
You in the boot of the car?
There you go. And, well, not always, but when we came to the...
To the actual border, yeah.
No, not the border. They had posts,
Okay.
you know, where they stopped the car.
Good grief.
And when we came near, I either jumped out of the car,
Yeah.
ran down the road,
Yeah.
hid behind a little bush, and while they got talking, and then they give me the sign, and I run back, or either get on the seat under a blanket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get the boots in the car. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It was
It was
fun.
fun. Anyway, we got there in Bechuanaland.
Yeah.
There was on the front page. Jazz singer skips bail.
Oh, so there was a front page story.
Yeah.
So all these documents are probably hidden or because it's now the New South Africa.
Exactly. But anyway.
So you're a hero, a hero in the New South Africa,
yeah.
but you were a runaway in old South Africa.
I was what's an outlaw? I skipped
Yes.
bail. I skipped bail for a start.
So were you not scared to come back to South Africa?
No, not in the least.
Really?
I knew what when Nelson Mandela was out, I could come back.
That's my guy.
Who's going to give me aggravation?
Exactly.
You know?
If they let Nelson out, who's going to give me
I
up
have to
here?
come back. But anyway, let me tell you about Dar Es Salaam.
Yes.
We went round the back. And we were there for a few days. We got to Dar Es Salaam, we were there for a few days in this hotel. We were really having a good time. And all of a sudden, the door flung open. And here were the police. Now they were black guys.
In Dar es Salaam.
Yeah,
and were they cops
black
from...
government.
Yes.
And they were black. And I thought, how could these people arrest me? Look at my colour.
Yeah, we're the same colour.
They came in there, they had a warrant for our arrest. Honestly. Somebody told them we were there.
Good
And
grief.
off we went to jail again.
I mean, Maude, let's be honest. If somebody can do a script for this is a great movie. Don't you agree?
What?
This is a phenomenal movie.
Do they think they can afford me? I don't think so. Anyway, off we go again to the cells. Oh man, here we go again. Threw us in these cells, and now Spike was in that cell, I was in this cell. And it was just a cell, cement floor,
Wow.
and a blanket.
So,
I was there for 5 days.
in a cell.
Yeah, I was only in the cells in Wynberg for one night.
Yes.
I was there for 5 days. Spike next door kept on shouting, wanting to see if I was okay. And the guys coming to the little window looking at me.
Yeah.
You know, and cell knows.
Goodness.
When it was dinner time, listen to this, dinner, supper time or whatever, they'd take us out of our cell, hotel across the road. Out come this food in the silver platter.
So they take you to a hotel across the road to eat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Food came from the hotel.
Oh, it came from the hotel.
And they took us, we were sitting down in this room and food came on a platter with a silver cover. And we'd have our dinner, beautiful food, finished.
And then back into the cell.
Then one morning,
Yes.
they came, took us out, and we went to the immigration minister's office. And guess who got us out?
Who?
Oliver.
Tambo. Viva Oliver. Viva. Oliver Tambo got you out.
Got us out, saved my life.
Wow.
And I never got to meet him again.
Never got to meet him.
No.
But his son, Dali Tambo, still
I know.
alive. We should, Dali, if you're watching this.
Well, he ain't know me. But anyway, when I came back, he died.
Wow, how sad is that?
But he got us
He
out.
got you out.
Yeah.
So obviously, the story was known, it was widespread by the then government, but the underground movement, the ANC movement, was obviously aware of this.
Well, they were in exile. Oliver Tambo was in exile in Dar es Salaam.
Right.
And there were lots and lots of ANC members
Okay.
in exile,
Right.
you know?
Interesting.
And they were still there.
Very
Because
interesting.
It was the apartheid years.
Yeah.
And they were there. And he got me out. And I never saw him again. And guess what? I started singing in Dar es Salaam to make some money. I had no money. I was Spike went to England. They had to go to England to get us somewhere.
So you were left
So he left
behind.
me there so that he could go and, get us somewhere to live and all that. And I stayed there and I thought, now I need to make some money here. So I went to the hotels and I started singing, got some money.
Wow.
And then I went to the English UK High Commission or whatever they call it. They gave me an exit visa.
Wow.
I could leave,
Dar
go
es
to
Salaam.
England. Exit visa, to go to England.
So that was 54. We're talking
That was
54 years ago.
1963.
1963.
And I got to London on the 9th of February 1963.
Right.
The whole country was frozen up with snow. It was cold. I had never known cold
Like that.
in my life.
Yeah.
The pipes were frozen. The River Thames was frozen. The snow was up to there. It was a nightmare.
Wow.
I said, what am I doing here? I said, what am I doing here? I might as well go back and go to jail.
Yeah.
But anyway, I arrived at Heathrow, but no papers. Nothing.
Wow.
No ID, no nothing. All I had were my scrapbook with all my pictures there.
Yeah,
Apartheid when I
yeah,
went to jail and blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. They let me in.
Wow.
They let me in, they let me through, because they knew about the struggle we had here.
Good grief. And so obviously you became a UK citizen?
Well, no, long
after
that. Because, I mean, you had to be there for 5 years, still the same.
Okay.
But I was stateless for 15 years before I got naturalization, before I decided to go for it.
Yes.
But what they gave me a travelling document.
Yeah.
That wherever I went, I started singing immediately in I had to make any money. I had no money.
Yeah, of course.
And they gave me a travel document.
Yeah.
The only thing was I had to have a visa wherever I went. Yeah, I had to visa the country
correct, yeah.
with this document. I had that for 15 years.
Wow.
Because I went all over the world singing.
Went to Spain?
I went everywhere. I went to Israel, I went to Egypt, Spain, Italy, Germany, and all the African countries. Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana,
Wow.
everywhere. America.
So coming back now to South Africa,
Yeah.
we're going to talk a little bit about because you played at the Catacombs, you played at Maxim's with Colin Campbell, but you also had friendships with Brian Eagleson, Vincent Colby, Harold Jeffter, Kenny Jeffter, various other musicians. Talk about those days. I mean, Henry February, yes.
Yeah.
He was also the second band that I was in called Airborne.
Okay.
He was Sean O'Connell's mentor.
Right.
And Henry was a hard taskmaster.
Don't I know it?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about back in the day. I mean, you really, when I listened to your voice on the Mr. Paljas, I think the song is called Stick Around, on the internet. I mean, you sound absolutely exquisite. You sound absolutely amazing, and you recognise your voice.
I do.
But you never knew about this recording.
No.
Tell us a little bit about those years and how you got to be Maude Damons in South Africa and Maxine Day. We're going to talk about Maxine Day in the UK.
Well, I got to be Maude Damons because I got christened Maude Cecilia Damons.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was born in District 6.
Correct.
Which you didn't know.
Yeah.
I was born at the, what's that place called? In the maternity hospital, Peninsula.
Oh yes, Peninsula.
We were all born
I think
there.
one of my brothers was born
there. I was born there.
Yeah.
And grew up in District 6. You know, where
playing barefoot in the roads.
Yeah, exactly.
And you sang in the church choir.
Yeah,
Tell us about that as well.
At the Bethel AME Church.
Bethel AME.
Yeah. And I sang in the morning choir on a Sunday, and I sang in the evening choir. I was the lead soloist, and I went to Sunday school as well.
Sound a little bit like Whitney Houston's story.
Maybe. Only thing is, I didn't mess my life up with drugs.
Yeah. That's the difference. I look at you as an 80-year-old woman, and I said I watched the Whitney Houston story, and it was so sad. I mean, I was in tears a couple of times, because here was this woman who was hugely talented, as are you, and just because of the wrong connections, the wrong boyfriends, the wrong people coming into our lives, you know, it can mess up everything.
I could have gone there.
I know.
I mean, you know.
Of course, when you're in the music business, all of those things, alcohol is there, there's dacha's there, I mean, even the harder drugs as well.
Well, in those days, when I was growing up in Cape Town, it was only dacha.
Yes.
And cheap wine.
Yes.
You know,
Umtas.
Which I didn't drink.
Which you still don't drink today.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I did drink, I must say. I did.
Yeah.
In England.
Yeah.
I did. Vodka was my tipple.
Okay.
And
vodka and orange
vodka
juice.
And tonic.
Oh, vodka and tonic.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And I smoked. Oh,
and tell us the story. Tell us the story of how Colin found you.
Oh, in
the Catacombs, yeah.
In the smoky club Catacombs in Mechel Street of
Where was it?
Mechel of Bree Street.
Off Bree Street. Metal. Yeah.
Mechachu.
Yeah.
That little street.
Yeah.
That was the catacombs.
Okay.
Brian Eagleson.
Was it underground?
Yes, it was. We went down the steps.
A little bit like Kaleidoscope.
Down there, but a small. And all the matlows used to come in there, you know.
Yeah.
They get thrown out, be drunk, starting fights. In the winter, I was swaying away and singing. And Brian and Colin Campbell found me. And I was with the boys.
Yeah.
So with Vincent.
Yeah.
And Brian Eagleson.
Yeah.
And Willie.
Van Bloemenstein.
He's been around.
So just it was Vincent Colby, Brian Eagleson on bass,
yeah.
Willie van Bloemenstein on drums. We're still playing drums at almost 90 years old.
And the same drum kit.
And the same drum kit.
Yeah.
And who else? Was there anybody else?
Well, not
Kenny?
that was us.
No, that was your
Kenny
origin.
was the different with Cecil May on piano.
Yes.
Johnny DeToy on double bass.
Yes.
Willie
Van Bloemenstein again.
drums,
Yeah.
and Kenny on guitar.
Kenny Jefter.
And me.
Yeah. Did you ever play with Harold Jefter?
Never. I only met Harold when I came back to South Africa.
Well, you know that Harold desperately wants you to come to Sweden.
I'd love
and
to.
he wants you to come and sing there.
I'd love to do that.
So Harold Jefter, if you're watching this, Maude, I've told her that I've tipped her off. She's got to come to Sweden to come and do something with you.
Harold, send the ticket. I'll be there shot. I love going around and doing things. Because I've started singing again in the UK.
Yes,
you know,
and it's... Now, how did you... Tell us how you got... Because you played around here in Cape Town and you left here as Maude Damons. But when you got to the UK, the Brits could not pronounce Damons. They used to call you Damons and this and that.
Damons, yeah.
So how did you... Tell us how you changed the name.
The thing was, they said, what's your name? I said, Maude Damons. Oh, no. You'll have to change that. Why? I said, why? Well, nobody will remember it.
Yeah, okay, because they can't pronounce it.
Oh,
It's like I said, Harold Jefter also had people battling in Sweden to remember Jefta.
Exactly.
So he changed to Jefta.
That's right. They just can't do it. Anyway, so I decided, my niece, who has now, God rest her soul, died of sepsis. Her middle name, my brother gave her the middle name of Maxine.
Aha.
So I thought, I'll take her name, Maxine.
Okay.
My surname is Damons, but they say Damons. So I cut it in the middle to Day.
Maxine
so
Day.
Maxine Day. And that's memorable. Memorable.
Of course.
And because now it's in my British passport, I'm Maxine Day.
Yeah.
Because if you've used the name for 10 years, it's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
And so if anybody comes to the UK,
they don't know Maude Damons.
no, that's what I'm saying. So if they come to the UK, they've got to find out where Maxine Day is playing or singing.
That's right.
Right. And where do you...
I'm singing again now, let me tell you that. I gave up singing for 40 years.
Wow.
I stopped singing.
Wow.
Well, when I got married, you know...
It was a full-time job.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I was still singing, but, you know, I got contracts to go abroad. Then the other, he wouldn't let me. He said, no wife of mine is going to work.
Right.
So I thought, rather than have all this...
Keep the peace.
Exactly.
Keep the peace.
So I decided to stay at home and pretended that I didn't miss singing.
But you actually did.
Oh.
So you do it in the kitchen, you do it in the shower, you do it wherever. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, in 2015, I was walking in the car park, where we have a big car park.
Yeah.
And this guy was coming on. I said, looking for somebody? He said, I might be moving in here. I said, okay, that way you go. The next day I saw him again. And he said, I'm a jazz drummer.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, nice. I left it at that.
So was this a British guy?
Oh, yes,
British. Yeah.
I said, oh, nice. I left it at that.
Yeah.
Didn't say a word. Didn't say I was a singer. Didn't say I could sing. Said nothing.
Yeah.
I saw him again a few weeks later. He said, I hear you can sing. I said, really?
So where did he hear this from? One of the neighbours?
In the house, somebody said.
Okay.
I said, oh, really? Who told you that? I said, whoever told you that's a lie. I said, can't sing. Don't sing. Never have done. They said, don't lie. I heard you could sing.
Yeah.
He said, we have a little trio called the Oxford Jazz Trio.
Wow.
Would you like to? I said, maybe. I was nervous, nervous as hell. I hadn't sung for 40 years.
Yes, absolutely.
In front of people, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the house we had a Christmas
Yeah.
and they came and played and suddenly asked me to get up. I was so frightened. I got up and I said, Autumn Leaves. Sang Autumn Leaves. And then I sang another. And the rest is history. I'm with the group now, with the trio.
Yeah.
We gig around, this is 2015. We gig around Oxfordshire.
That's fantastic. And there's possibilities that you might be able to travel again, Germany possibly.
Musicians in Oxfordshire, you would not believe it. South Africans as well.
Yes, yes. Amazing.
And now I'm singing again.
That's awesome. And Maude, I mean, you, man, having had you here for the past 2 weeks, you know how sad I was that we didn't pack the house the first night. The second night was a bit better.
Yes.
But listening to you sing, watching you on stage, your energy, and just so that people know as well, we recorded both nights, and Colin and Tony and Mel are going to look at what we can put together to have a Maude Damons live at Kaleidoscope Cafe or Maxine Day.
Maude Damons will do.
For South Africa.
This is how they know me in South Africa.
Yeah.
Let's not rock the boat. Maxine Day, there's a hula.
Well, there's Chishi. Then we can't sell it.
Exactly. So we'll just stick to Maude Damons.
But we've recorded that, and we have had, I mean, my band thoroughly enjoyed working with you. Even our rehearsals were fun. I mean, we had a ball. And just watching you, your energy at 80 years old, I'm blown away by, just who you are. And I really do believe that you're still going to be swinging at 90. You're still going to be singing and swinging with bands at 90, maybe even 100, who knows?
I sincerely hope so.
I think they made a mistake with your birth certificate.
Listen, I'm telling you they did. I am sure of that. I may look like this. In those days they sort of always never knew when they were born. Or I remember somebody, I don't know when my birthday was, but they took somebody else's date.
Yeah.
And I think they made a mistake with me.
Amazing.
I think so. I think they put the wrong tag on.
On your hand, yeah. So you come from a family, you and your brother Christian.
Yes.
Damons.
Yes.
From District 6. Yes. You had the one thing that we haven't spoken about, you also traveled with a group